Hello YouTube, Ian here, aka Nitrous LP, and welcome to the press conference for DBA Season 1 for the New England Patrats. I'm joined here with Levites, MimiQ,
Hello.
and SV.
What's up?
They're going to ask me some questions about the DBA and the New England Patrats. Anyone want to start us off?
Huh?
Obviously, your team's named around the New England Patriots,
Yes, yep.
so you gotta have to name one of your team members Tom Brady.
Well, you know, I was thinking about drafting Go-Goat and naming him Tom Brady, but I didn't feel like that would fit with the team very well, so
You should have done with the
I don't
one
know.
that's more like cheap, like more using cheap tactics.
oh. This is getting
We
off to a
all know
great
Tom
start.
Brady uses cheap tactics.
Alright. Levites, why don't you ask us our first question?
Alright, so I have... What Pokemon do you think will perform the best or be your kill leader on your squad?
My predictions for kill leader. I'm thinking Landorus Syrian probably will be the easy pick for kill leader. He has that base 145 attack, just hits everything like a truck. Another huge dangerous threat would be Komo with the Komo EMZ. The Clangorous Soul Blaze, he'll be able to sweep a lot of things with that.
Yeah,
I
honestly,
think,
especially with Lando, especially with Z-Fly, that can kill a lot of things.
Right. But I think another sleeper pick, maybe even would be Mega Manectric, because 135. That's not exactly something to ignore for a special attack. I could definitely see that putting up a significant amount of kills every game, and I think
Yeah, on the right team, Mega Manectric can do a decent amount of work.
yeah, and that was one of the megas I was hoping I could pick up at this point. Obviously, Mega Sableye was my first choice. You took him from me, so I think Mega Manectric was my second pick for a mega. So I'm more than happy with getting that, and I think it'll put in a lot of work.
But my question for you is about for week 1. How did you feel about going into week 1?
Week 1, I was a little apprehensive. I had never played Mewtwo Fan before, so I wasn't really sure how he battled, what he would bring. He brought a lot of the things I was expecting to bring. I don't exactly remember what he brought, but I was predicting most of his team correctly. A lot of what he did bring, that's what he brought. So I'm pretty happy with the way I played on that. Everyone played really well. Delmise picked up 2 kills, which was like, you don't really see Delmise out there picking up a lot of kills. You see it being used more as like a spinner and a spin blocker, but clearly I didn't need that.
ABL.
I wasn't in the ABL, so until this season at least. SV, you have a question?
So, your team right now, you just made a transaction.
I
How do you
did.
feel about that transaction of dropping Lucario for more and dropping whatever other thing you had?
I dropped Fione for Gallade. That was a huge pickup for the team. I'm very glad that I got Alamomola because my team really lacked significant bulk outside of like Aromatisse and Umbreon. So I think that
You could
having
argue Arcanine can be bulky.
yeah, but something that's like designated to be bulky. Alamomola is crazy good, and I don't know why Levites dropped it to be honest, but I'm not complaining.
I just needed the speed. That's why.
Okay, I've noticed you have like a huge weakness to Ghost, with 4 things being weak to Ghost. How are you able to counter that? Besides,
Well, obviously I'm not going to bring every one of my ghost weaknesses every week, but you also see like Umbreon is like my significant, counter to ghost types. So yeah, there is going to be some problems with like things that can get ghost and fighting type attacks. So I'll have to work around that, obviously with the team prep. But honestly, right now I don't have a particular counter, like a particular hard counter to a ghost type. But I'm gonna have
You got
to beat
Umbreon.
that. Yeah, Umbreon's like the closest thing I got to a hard counter to that.
You just gotta be careful with like Gengar, which gets like Focus Blast. and
Yeah,
whatnot.
that's probably a big concern.
But it's also called Focus Miss.
That is true.
unless he's running Z Focus Blast, then he'll hit like a fucking truck.
Yeah, that's a big issue. But I'll definitely have to work around that in my prep.
Me next.
Sure.
Yeah, go on.
Alright. Seeing how big of a buff Kamo got this generation, how well do you think it'll do for you?
It was huge. It's the reason why I took it in the second round and made it my Super Z user. You know, Clanger Soul Blaze, getting close combat, getting Drain Punch. That was huge. It's going to be a big part of the team, and I hope to be using that a lot.
Why did you pick? The reason why you picked your Confractus for spikes, Toxic Spikes?
I use it as just a general wall, general bulk, you know, just keeping it out of the way, or keeping things out of the way that I don't want to be using. So it's...
abilities, possibly?
Yeah, getting rid of abilities is also a useful ability. So I'm going to be using that a lot. Hoping, using it as like mainly as one of my primary walls. Hang on guys, I gotta go for 1 second. Sorry, who was asking a question?
So, did we get the Intimidate stuff right, right?
I didn't get that before I stopped it. So Intimidate, you're asking about that?
Yeah. How did you feel about going up against the Defiant Pokemon with 3 Intimidate users?
Well, I would definitely be avoiding that for sure. I would definitely, you know, even if I got Cofagrigus in, so I could get rid of the Defiant and then switch in an Intimidator, that would be very useful. But definitely, a Defiant Mon like Bisharp definitely scares this team, but I also feel like I have things that can hit Bisharp pretty hard, so I wouldn't say that it's a huge concern. But definitely is scary. Definitely something I'd have to prep for.
See, I was gonna say Bishop kind of would destroy you with that Defiant thing, except I'm pretty sure it went undrafted, so you're kind of lucky there.
Oh, did it?
Did it? Actually, I think it did.
Hang on. I can check right now. I have the doc pulled up.
Someone did get Empoleon, they could always run, like,
Yeah, Bisharp went undrafted.
Tech Scarf, Empoleon.
I think TJ's Braviary. Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, some things do have
Yeah,
Defiant.
TJ.
Some people do have Defiant Mons. That's always something I have to prep for. But I will definitely be sure to avoid that because I think in one of my other leagues, I think even in the PWL, someone brought Defiant something and just completely messed my day up. So I'm going to have to be careful with that.
So what are your opinions about your division that you got put in? And how do you think you'll stack up at the end of the season compared to them?
Well, I think I got put in a pretty good division. You know, me, Levite, TJ, and Box. I've never played against TJ or Box for a league before, but I have played against Levite quite a few times, had some very memorable matchups. I think in leagues it's 2-2 all time, so this should make things interesting. My week 2 matchup is against TJ and the Philadelphia Flagons, so that should be a good matchup. Week 3 I play Levite and his Atlanta Aerodactyls. Let's see what's on the schedule. I don't play Box until like week 7 or week 8. But yeah, I think it's a pretty good division. I've seen them all battle before. They're all very good battlers. They all know how to play. And I feel like if I make the right plays and I can step up, I'll finish pretty well. But that all depends on if I don't do terrible prep, which I have been known to do sometimes.
This kind of relates to Espy's question there, but I ask, looking at your schedule, what teams do you think you'll struggle the most with throughout your entire schedule, not just division matches?
Well, the Atlanta Aerodactyls are definitely one team that scares me. You'd be stupid not to be scared by that team. Another team that's really interesting is the Tampa Bay Dusknors. They have a lot of hard hitters on the team, and it's a very well-built team. I don't really see any glaring weaknesses, so I'll definitely have to... I think I play them like week 6 or week 7. So I'm going to have to make some good prep, make some good decisions. But I'd say the Atlanta Aerodactyls and the Tampa Bay Dusknors are the 2 teams that I fear the most right now. But
The Dusknoirs, they have one of the best Pokemon you can draft in League format, being Mega Lopunny. But you should be able to deal with that fairly easily because you have 3 Intimidators.
Yeah, that's something I really like. I'm just glad that he has Empoleon though, so he can bait that with the Defiant. So I'm gonna have to make sure.
Aqua Jet, Metal Claw. Let's get Iron Head, actually.
I don't think so.
Drillpeck Tech. Drillpeck Tech.
Hey man, maybe they will.
Nope, the only steel type moves he gets are mainly, well, he gets Steel Wing.
I don't know. He might. I think he might run Metal Claw for that 10% chance at raising the attack.
Or
If he were to
Steel
run
Wing
it.
for that 10% chance to raise his defense. Take hits even better.
Maybe so. Maybe so. So Mimikyu, do you have a question?
So,
Alright,
unbiasedly,
My
Alright.
question is, how do you feel about people hazard stacking against you if you don't bring Delmise?
Well, I do plan on bringing Delmise a lot for hazard support, but my mindset with drafting teams is usually I like to draft things that aren't typically very weak to hazards. I've only got two things on my team that take 25% from Stealth Rocks, being Arcanine and Xatu. And another beauty of the thing is I have Xatu, which is a magic bouncer. So if someone is going to bring in hazards, I can bring that in and magic bounce it back. So now instead of me having to run rocks, I can predict it, get Xatu in on rocks, and now I get rocks for free without having to use one of my other mons as a rock setter. But outside of that, I really hazards are a big part of this team. I do have Lando T, which can get defog. That was another one of my favorite buffs from Gen 7. But
Only a matter of time till it gets Roost.
If it gets Roost, it's gonna go Ubers.
oh, without a
Yeah.
doubt, without a doubt. But yeah, I got my options
Then
for dealing
again-
with hazards.
Then again, Smogoners who love Lando TN. Oh, you're like, no, it's not broken. It actually makes it even more balanced because it makes Lando even stronger.
Even stronger, implying that Lando T is a bad OU mon.
No, implying that it's.
No. I'm talking from the Smogoners side.
Yeah, it's balanced in OU. It helps check everything.
Exactly.
It kind of does, though.
Yeah, I do think it's. I think it should be suspected
I
at
don't like-
least.
Like I don't
Like,
like.
if Lando T went away, I think OU would just crumble. It's holding it together right now.
Right. Exactly.
I'm not a big fan of stall because I just don't like games that take 2.5 hours. It's like.
Well, if there's one person in this that knows stall, it would be Levites. So direct any stall questions
no,
at him.
He doesn't stall. He takes his time. It was like, okay, is he gonna?
Have you seen his team this year?
Shit! He used Hydro Pump.
All right.
so unbiasedly, without just being like, oh, it's gonna be me, who do you actually think, other than you,
Other than me.
is gonna win it all? Like, who has the best shot other than you?
Well, I talk a lot of stuff in the DBA chat. You guys have seen that. But I think Levite has a very good chance of winning. I think-
Two failed ABL loses.
Right. I think Lucario Knight has a pretty good chance. You know, when you have the first overall pick and it's Mega Lopunny, not a lot of teams
I think the
can prep for
Haluchas
it.
as well.
The Hollywood Haluchas are also a pretty good team. They've got a lot of serious threats on that team. You know, I'll even say that Hacker, the Minnesota Azumarill, have a pretty solid team. I wouldn't say it's like the best team, but I feel like Hacker can probably pull something off and do some serious damage with that team of his. So I think right now,
Able to adapt to any situation, pretty much, is what you're saying.
yes. So right now, I would say that Levite has the top pick, but there's a lot of serious contenders in this, and it's only week 1, so like, there's still a lot of
3 Z users.
a lot of questions about it.
So like, why'd you pick the Z users you picked?
The Z users I picked. I'm just gonna start from top to bottom, except my team page now conveniently doesn't have my Z users. Lando T, just so I can hit things with like Z Fly, Z Stone Edge, etc., etc. That one's pretty self-explanatory. Komo is my Super Z user, so I can use Clangor of Soul Blaze, get that +1 to all stats. Makes it kind of broken. I don't know why we allowed it, to be honest, but I mean, I'm not complaining, I got it. And then originally Fiona was my last Z user because I didn't really think of any of my lower tier mons that I'd be using as it. But I made Galley my Z user, so I can use like, I don't know, Z Shattered Psyche, stuff like that.
Gallade gets
Just
basically
nuke some of the
15 of
close
the
combat.
18 types for physical attacking, you know that,
Yeah,
right?
I got a lot of versatility there too, but I really just picked it because it's my best lower tier mon that's meant to be used for attacking.
Gallade has what we call 4-move slot syndrome.
Yep. mhm.
Suffers from losing something. Because it always needs something.
Right.
But other than that, it's still good because it can be used for anything. You can use it for just about anything to counter someone's team.
and that's what I'm excited about using it
So
for.
is that the reason why you picked Gallade?
I just picked it up because it's a great Pokemon in a low tier. It's got 125 base attack. It's gonna hit a lot of things hard. Decent enough speed, base 80 speed, so it makes it a pretty good Scarfer. It's
Or
got
you could run like a tech, like someone's gonna bring an Intimidate Pokemon. You could run Swords Dance Adrenaline Orb.
I could. I didn't even think of that. So like,
Adrenaline Orb can be used to raise your speed if they have Intimidate.
yeah, I know what it is. Pokemon Trainer Orange in the Showdown series. He's in my fan chat. He brought Intimidate Orb, Agility, Vikavolt against me.
Oh, that's actually not bad.
So yeah, it was. He would have won that game probably if he didn't make a couple misplays, go for an extra agility he didn't need, and I got a crit flamethrower with a Slowbro that won me that game. But yeah, there's a lot of options for Gallade too. I'm not huge that it only has 65 special attack, because even if it had like 85 or 90 special attack, I could maybe run it mixed, throw some people off, but right now, yeah, I'm pretty happy with getting Gallade. I'm kind of surprised it went undrafted. So, again, I'm not complaining. I'll take it.
I mean, Gallade can do good, but it's just a mediocre Pokemon. That's really it. It doesn't do anything special, in my opinion. Sure, it can Swords Dance and whatnot, but
Then again,
that's
so
really
do a lot of things. SV, I think it's your turn to ask questions.
Me? I got
SV.
no more. So when you think of one off the top of my head.
I guess, yeah, if we have any more questions, we
Alright,
can...
my final question is, why'd you drop, like, more bulk than offense? Because if they break through your bulk, all you have left is your offense. You could, like, run more, like, balance. I see a lot more bulk than I do offense, as you have Alomola, Delmise, Umbreon, Aromatisse, and Cofagrigus.
Well,
It's kinda
I
mixed.
wouldn't really consider Delmise really a bulk. I mean, it's got base 131 attack. It's got the
It's not
second.
really a bulk.
It's got the second highest
Well,
attack set on my
I'm
team.
calling it bulk now, because it now has access to synthesis.
That's
Yeah,
just
I
really
mean,
good
It,
about
it
that.
doesn't run bulk very well, though. Especially on the special side, it's pretty weak.
Yeah, so
You really
I
want
consider
that.
most of it being like a
Base
utility
90
mod.
special ain't bad. It also has access to knockoff now.
It does.
And 3 stab with Anchor Shot, which is pretty cool.
It is.
For a Steel Worker.
I really drafted Delmise to be a spinner and a spin blocker. A great way for dealing with hazards on this team. And I think that's going to be the primary way that I deal with hazards, because I don't see myself bringing Zatu that often, and I don't see myself running Defog on Lando T, because it kind of suffers from four move slot syndrome, just because like there's so much you can do with it that 4 moves kind of restricts it from its full potential.
Also, you may want to be wary of the flying type Defiant users, as they could use Zatu's ability against you. They could run Defog, give themselves an evasion lower.
Oh,
but
I
break their
didn't.
attack by 2. How would you counter that?
That's I just outspeed someone with Manectric and pray to God I can knock it out in one hit, I guess. Yeah, no, that's a very, very scary.
Very oddly specific.
It's oddly specific, but then again, I think TJ
In League,
TJ has Braviary.
has Braviary, so I think it's the only thing that can really use that. But that's still pretty huge, and I never even thought of that, to be honest. So I know I gotta be careful with that.
surprising them. What are some mons you were... Okay, another question. What are some mons that you surprised didn't go drafted?
So Mons, I was surprised didn't go drafted. Bisharp is definitely a big one. Let me just look at the tiers. Let me see. I don't think Cobalion Cobalion got drafted, and that was one of my favorite Mons that I used in the PWL.
Someone has that. I don't remember though.
I can look through, but...
Yeah, Sly has it.
Sly does have Cobalion. Okay. So Mons, this would be nice if we had whoever drafted it in the team sheet. But
It's there for me.
are you on the official one, or are you on the special league one that we have?
Official, just to control F, you can search for it.
Oh no, I'm looking like on the actual tier sheet. Like usually we'd have the Mons.
Oh, I'm on the rosters page, not that.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
None of the Thundies got drafted as well.
Neither of them got
I
drafted.
call them the genie slash Therians.
Yeah, that's pretty surprising. I would have thought at least the Therian form would get drafted.
Like,
Yeah.
I see so many good Pokemon that it actually didn't get taken. And so I'm looking at it right now.
We got. The Zygarde
Oh
stands
wow!
out the biggest to me.
Neither Tornadus got drafted either. Zygarde, that's
Yeah.
pretty big, but I mean, I can kind of see why he wouldn't draft
wasn't
it.
drafted.
Skarmory wasn't? I could have sworn someone got Skarm.
Excadrill wasn't drafted.
Oh, that's big. Yeah, Skarm got drafted. Box got it.
Oh,
Keldeo
Yeah,
wasn't.
Drill wasn't drafted because nobody drafted Sand, so no one wanted Drill that much.
Feels bad. I don't think Pex was drafted, but that's a bad Pokemon anyway.
Yeah, I found that one out the hard way.
So, what was your worst snipe? What
Worst
as a
snipe.
final question?
I wasn't
What
even
was like
sniped
the
all
worst
that
snipe that
much.
happened?
I wasn't sniped all that much. I was pretty happy about that. Let me think about that for a second, because honestly, like this was like the first draft where I can't really think of a time where I didn't get something I wanted. I mean, I wanted Kyurem Black, but Levitti absolutely had his heart set on that.
Yeah.
So I can't. I mean, I'm surprised it fell to him at number 16, but
wait, what about number 16?
Kyurem Black.
Something fell to someone at number 16.
Kyurem Black
But
fell to
his depressing
Levitti.
draft placement in Kyurem Black.
Yeah, that was a shocker. Usually, you'd think he's a top 5 pick.
Did you ever get sniped?
Nothing too seriously.
Did you get sniped?
I don't think there was anything particularly. I think I did a lot of the sniping. Like, I know people wanted Dumb Eyes, people wanted Arcanine. Someone really wanted Arcanine. Someone was really mad about that. I don't remember who it was. Yeah,
I wish I'd taken Arcanine over Volcarona, and then I would have sniped you.
You would have sniped me, yeah. Yeah, I can't really think of any particular instances where I got sniped that were, like, terribly, like, I got really mad about it. I think I was looking at Rotom Heat for a B-tier mon before that got sniped for me by Lucario Knight. But then I ended up with a better fire type, in my opinion.
As you have access to better more reliable recovery.
Exactly.
And Morning Sun.
Pretty good ability, too, and Intimidate.
But you do not have that ground immunity unless it's a Mold Breaker.
That's true. That is an issue. But then again, I also got ways to beat the grounded weakness.
I mean, you do have a ground immunity. I'm just talking about Rotom Heat.
Right.
You have your ground immunity and your Lando Therian.
Mm-hmm. And in Zatu.
Do you plan on getting any sweeps? Trying on to sweep someone?
Do I plan on getting any sweeps? Como is definitely going to get a sweep at some point this season.
Lando T probably will as
I wouldn't
gonna
doubt
say
it if I don't know. I think one of my preps I'm bringing Double Dance Lando T. I'm not sure at what point I am because I'm prepped for a few more weeks now. And I am bringing Double Dance Lando T at some point. No, I'm not. It could be Levitti, it could be TJ, it could be who am I playing week 5? Because I'm prepped through week 5. Week 5. Or it could be the Ladner Lantern. Wait, no, it's Trevor. I'm playing week 5.
Really, Levi?
We'll wrap it up soon. Don't worry. I think one more question because Levitti has to exit the premises soon. Anyone else have any other questions?
Not really.
I would say something, but nah.
All right.
Levi's got a bomb to drop.
Yeah, he's got some business to take care of. So I'll say thank you for the questions, you guys. Go Patrats.
No.